So boys, we are back with some more Redskins franchise mode here in Madden NFL 19. In last episode, you defeated the Panthers 30-7 there in Washington to put us 2-3 on the season. Hell of a game out of Chris Hogan coming in relief for the injured Alex Smith. But Alex Smith, he's back, so there's no injury for Alex Smith at all. He did have a bruised sternum in-game. He did not return, but he did come back after and celebrate with the team. So it's good news for us as we have no injured quarterback and we still have a shot in this season to maybe even make the playoffs if we get lucky and like the Eagles or the Cowboys just suddenly collapse. But we're 2-3, tied the Giants there in our division, not bad. As we'll take a look at some stats so far throughout the first 6 weeks of the season for us. As Alex Smith, 9th in NFL yards passing, and then we have 27th in passing touchdowns, and so on. Geis, 9th in rushing yards, but I believe he probably should sim 1 week before he do this because the stats might be a little bit in our favor for playing that game. So first we'll go and scout some college players, and then we'll take a look at some negotiations in week 7. But as for scouting right now, pretty much I'm just going to go and scout dudes that we need, like offensive linemen. We don't need to scout a quarterback yet. I don't want to get a quarterback in the draft just yet. Defensive tackle maybe, like Raekwon Davis. He's got some decent stats for him. He fits our scheme as well. But right end, I don't know if we really need to scout right ends because our defensive line is pretty much good for the most part. We have Allen, we have Ioannidis on both ends, and they're young and gonna be great for a couple more years. So I think we're fine with that so far. But looking at some of these players, we do have Bryce Love, who I remember from a couple years back through the NCAA, and he's pretty good right there. A mid-first round pick. Anyone else? Probably take a look at some receivers as well too, because we do need receivers. And he's a mid-first rounder. That's Richards. Then, who else we should take a look at? Maybe some corners. Greedy Williams. Great name, but he's a late first rounder. So we do have, remember, we do have that first round pick from the Seahawks there. We have a 13th projected pick and a 23rd projected pick as well in the first round. We have 1 second round pick, 1 third, 1 fourth, 1 fifth, and a 7th. So we're looking not too bad here so far. As what else do we need to scout this week? We have 81 points remaining. Maybe scout some linebackers just in case. Because linebackers, you could find some pretty good ones in the second round if you scout good enough. So maybe take a look at it. Maybe getting a linebacker in the second round. It could be a good idea. We have corners. I have some more quarterbacks. I'll probably go and leave the rest on Zach Allen, I guess. I don't know. There we go. So we got done the scouting. Now let's take a look at some negotiations first. So I was taking a look at some of these negotiations. There's not that many players that actually re-sign on this list at all. We have Jamison Crowder, I'll re-sign him. Pernell McPhee, maybe. Preston Smith, I'll re-sign him. Robert Kelly, not really looking like I'm going to re-sign him. And as for the rest, they're all players that I'm not going to re-sign at all. Like even Kevin Hogan, most likely. I'm not sure what I'll do with him but we'll see what happens in a couple weeks. If Alex Smith gets injured, he steps up, plays well, you never really know. But as of right now, not looking like I'm going to re-sign Kevin Hogan because we could probably find a better backup quarterback through the free agency. Okay, so we have a big week on our hands. We're facing off against the 6-0 Dallas Cowboys within our own division. This is going to be a big game for us. We'll see if we can maybe take on the Cowboys and take the W. But it's not looking good for us at all. They're a very good team. They have Dak. They've got Zeke. They've got just an amazing offensive line. Their defense is underrated. The team is very good, and I don't know how we're going to stop them, especially with a decent, like, our team is alright. It's decent, but we're pretty crappy in most parts for the first year. Like, after the first year, we're going to be better, but first year Redskins not looking good so far, as we're probably going to get spanked this week by the Cowboys. But for the rest, we'll go and scout some more players. And then we'll go and see the stats so far this year for our team. See how we're doing is... The guys want to see if we're doing well enough to go and make it decent in the NFL. Okay, so stats-wise, Alex Smith 24th in the league in passing yards with 1, 2, 3, 4 yards passing. Geis is 10th in NFL in rushing yards, not bad. 25th in touchdowns. Jordan Reed is 12th in receiving yards, 49th in touchdowns. Let's see more in-depth stats here. Alex Smith, more picks than touchdowns so far this season. Not good for him at all. Usually he's one of those quarterbacks that has way more touchdowns than picks. So it is not looking good so far for for Alex Smith so far this season. Rushing wise, we're doing pretty well with Geis, I think. Kelly's got 1 touchdown on the season with 38 yards rushing. Then receiving wise, Jordan Reed leading the way. Crowder not that far behind with 337 and 2 touchdowns. Doxson 108. Let's see, sort this better here. There we go. Vernon Davis, they're 123, so he's having a pretty good season so far for backup tight end. Then Paul Richardson there, 119 yards in 2 games for him. Doxson has 108 and 2 touchdowns, and so on. Blocking wise, who let up sacks this season? Trent let up 3 sacks, leading the way pretty much. And Moses tied for first there, 3 let up sacks, 1 for Sheriff, 1 for Luke, and the rest looking pretty good. Like, I'm surprised that Stone hasn't let up any sacks at all. That's not bad for him. But defensively, Zach Brown leading the way in tackles there, 49 tackles, 1 sack, 1 pick. And let's see who's leading us in sacks, actually. Kerrigan is leading us in sacks with 3. Ionez has 2. Bernal McPhee has 2. 1 from Zach Brown, and that's about it. Picking-wise, 1 pick for Zach Brown, 1 for DJ, and that's about it. As for the rest, let's see, kicking-wise. Dustin Hopkins is 1 for 2 on field goals, but he was 3 for 3 last week, though. So I don't know how that's not recording that stat, but I guess Dustin Hopkins didn't kick those field goals for some reason. I don't know why it's not showing up the stats. Maybe it's not synced yet, but he was 3 for 3 last week, so that puts him at 4 for 5 on the season so far in field goals. Not bad for him. Punting-wise, 19 punts for Tressway, 834 yards punting. Then Myrick 251 through the kick return, Marshall 131, and Myrick 45 and 52 for Jamison Crowder on the punt return. So this team is not looking, so it's alright, I guess. We're not really looking to aim to win the Super Bowl this season, but defensive yards, our team is pretty good defensively for the most part. It's just our offense is not clicking yet with Alex Smith at quarterback, so I'm kind of surprised that hasn't happened yet, but eventually I could see it happening. As we'll take a look at the awards so far for top players of the week, and is there any so far Redskins here? I don't believe there is yet. Yeah, nothing yet so far for... Oh, you know, Zach Brown there. Defensively there, NFC Defensive Player of the Week last week. Again, for that performance against the Panthers. Hell of a game for Zach Brown in that one. He had 2 forced fumbles. I forgot about that. 2 forced fumbles, 1 pick, 1 sack, 9 tackles in that game. Hell of a game for him. But the rest, pretty much, yeah, we have no Redskins at all for offense or defensive besides week 6. As for the rest of this, we'll go take a look at the Cowboys and see how great of a season they're actually having, because they're having an insane season for, like, I thought they maybe, like, I didn't think they'd be undefeated through 6 weeks. That's pretty much what I thought, but we'll go take a look at the Cowboys and see how well they did so far against their opponents. So week 1, they won against the Panthers 23-10, 28-17 W against the Giants, 31-17 win against the Seahawks, 27-24 win against the Lions, 28-23, 35-24 against the Jaguars. So for the most part, the games have been somewhat close the last couple weeks besides the Jaguars game. So maybe we might luck out and our defense could hold them and our offense will just get enough offensive production to win this game. You never really know. And if it's any team that can stop their offense, it's our defense. We're the second best defense in the league. So I don't see why not, how we cannot stop them. Our team is capable. Looking at this team offensively, which is our weakness, the only weakness I could see is our offensive line. It's a mess coming at the left guard and center positions. The rest are fine for the most part. Like, Moses is alright. I'd like to get a replacement for him eventually, but for right now, it's fine. But left guard and center is kind of our liability, even though they haven't let up that many sacks this season. It's not bad, but it's not necessarily good overall-wise. As for the rest, we have, like, our fullback, Vernon Davis. He's doing well. Geis is doing well. Paul Richardson is doing well. We maybe could get another receiver there in the mix. That wouldn't be bad. But I don't know if it really fits our offensive scheme, though. So I think we're fine with 2 great receivers and a couple good backups. As for a team on defense, I don't think we're doing that bad. Foster is a decent backup middle linebacker. We could find a better one, but we're fine for now. As for the rest, we do have an upgrade for Dunbar, actually. So we'll go upgrade Dunbar right now. Maybe get an 80 overall. Man-to-man, slot, or zone. We could... Man-to-man coverage does fit our scheme. But zone needs to get upgraded for him, though. So upgrade zone, and now he's at 80 overall. Not bad. So Dunbar is now 80 overall. He's 26 years old. Good looking overall for a corner. Norman's 87. Skandricks are back up at 78. Not looking too bad for us right now at corner. Anyone else that needs some upgrades? I think Colt McCoy actually has an upgrade. He does. So might as well just upgrade him while we're at it. Upgrade the scheme. He's at 66 overall. I don't know what his overall was before, but he is now at 66. 69 for Hogan. No upgrade available for him. And I think that's pretty much about it. So we're facing off against the 6-0 Dallas Cowboys. Next week is our trade deadline, so we got to watch out and maybe pick up a player or two through trades possibly. You never really know. This season, I'm not looking to make too big of trades because it is the first season. I want to make most of our moves in the offseason where we completely overhaul the team if we need to, or make the required repairments and do better next season through the draft or through the free agency. So right now, not looking to make too many big of trades, but if we could find a decent player for a decent price, we could pick him up maybe this season. So we'll sim this game first, then next week make some trades. So 6-0 Cowboys, 2-3 Redskins, come on, take this W and put us at 3-3 on the season. And out of all the possibilities, we tied that game against the Cowboys. So it's not a win nor a loss, we tied them, which is pretty weird to say actually because I'd never thought that would happen. So we're 2-3-1 now in the season, and the Cowboys are 6-0-1. So our defense matched up against their offense very well. They shut them down for the most part, but our offense just got enough points to tie it up. So I'm happy with that effort. It's not bad for a crappy team right now like the Redskins. But player-wise, let's see this. As Dak had 165, Alex Smith had a better overall game passing, 282, 1 pick, 1 touchdown. No passing touchdowns for Dak, which means probably Zeke got 2 touchdowns, I'm assuming. Rushing wise, Zeke, 2 touchdowns, 133, 30 carries for Zeke, as Geis had 53 on the ground, 17 carries, Robert Kelly 31 on 10 carries and a touchdown, and that's about it. Receiving yards wise, let's see this, as 78 for Jamison Crowder, 65 for Jordan Reed, 63 for Paul, Allen Hurns at 57 for the Cowboys, Cole Beasley 51, Vernon Davis 34, Robert Kelly 16 yards on that pass for a touchdown. So Robert Kelly had both of our touchdowns in that game, not bad. Receiving yards wise, let's see the rest, and that's pretty much about it. Blocking wise, who lit up sacks in this game? 2 from Trent Williams again, 2 for Luke, 1 for Collins, and 1 for Smith. So Trent Williams is not having a good game at all protecting Alex Smith's blind side. He is not doing well, and that's very weird to see that. So I'm kind of worried about Trent Williams. Hopefully he figures it out, but right now it's not looking good for him at all. As for tackles wise, on defense, Sean Lee, 13 tackles for him for the Cowboys, 9 for Jalen Smith. I just want to see our tackles actually. 9 for Dunbar, who just got recently upgraded, 9 for Kerrigan and a sack, then 9 for Perrell McPhee and a sack. Zach Brown 8 tackles in that one. Who led us in sacks? And yeah, 1 for 1, Kerrigan and McPhee. Picks wise, no picks in that game at all for us. Kicking wise, Hopkins missed 2 field goals that could have won it for us. Oh, this is not looking good for him either. So at least he made his extra points, but he missed. Why are we attempting field? I guess you hit a 60-yard field goal, but why do we always attempt beyond 50-yard field goals with Dustin Hopkins? He does not have the leg yet, nor the accuracy, so we gotta watch out for that, as the CPU is not making too good of decisions for Dustin Hopkins, kicking from beyond 50. It does not work for him. You gotta stop that. But as to the rest, punting-wise, 3 punts for Tress Way, kick return-wise, 28 for Eli Rogers, 21 for Myrick. No touchdowns so far on special teams for the Redskins so far, but punt return wise, no punts at all. No punt returns actually all for us in that game, so that's not really that good at all. But we'll go take a look at the next week is against the Giants. So this game is pretty big. We could make it 3-3-1 if we win against the Giants this week, which is not bad. We want to stick at 500 pretty much. And the division is not that bad actually. We are 2-3-1. Giants 3-4, 5-2 Eagles, 6-0-1 Cowboys. So we're not that far off from the Cowboys. 4 wins. That's not that bad, I guess. So that game, I blame that loss on Dustin Hopkins. He did not, I guess it can go both ways, because we know that Hopkins cannot hit that consistently beyond 50, unless I'm actually playing the game, because I just don't like how the computer plays the game because it doesn't play it right, and that's why we keep losing these games, is they're using the players wrong in-game. But regardless, Hopkins, he's not good when simming-wise for kicking beyond 50, so I wish the computer would stop attempting from beyond 50, because then it puts us at bad field position if we're kicking from beyond 50 and miss the field goal. Plus, it allows for missed field goal returns for touchdowns as well, too, so I do not want that happening. I hope the computer stops doing that, but we'll just wait and see, and hopefully it doesn't happen again. But as for the rest, we could take a look at some trades right now and see what's available on the block this week for the last week of the deadline. So our needs this season are center, middle linebacker, free safety, left guard, and right outside linebacker. So we'll take a look at some positions. We don't need a running back really. Receiver-wise, we have a 76 overall to Marcus Robinson. Anyone else? Not really too much. Jakeem Grant is very fast. He's got a 96 speed in this game, so he's not bad at all. Tight end wise, you have Tyler Croft at a 79 overall, Seth the Valve at a 78, Kendricks at a 78, but we do not need tight ends really. Right guard, we have Sweezy, J.R. Sweezy. Left guard, we have Jordan Morgan. Yeah, there's not that many good left guards here in the league available for trades, so I'm kind of iffy on making a trade for this. For that position right now. We have Graham Glasgow there at center at 70 overall. He is better than what we have right now, but not that much better that we have to make a trade. So I'm not really sure what we'll do right now at that position. Left tackle, we're fine. Right tackle, yeah, there's not that many good players left at all. Right end, they got some good right ends, but we do not need a right end though. D tackle, we got Brandon Maben there at 78 overall, 77 Abry Jones, Nazir Jones at a 76. Linebacker wise, not that many. Middle linebacker, yeah, nothing much. Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna find a good offensive lineman when there's none available for trade. Okay, so I was looking through some trades possibly for an offensive lineman, and I think I've found the offensive lineman I'd like to acquire. So Braden Smith, the 75 overall, 22-year-old rookie. He's got some great stats for a starting off player in the NFL. Take a look at his stuff. Not bad at all. Plus he's got that quick development as well too, so that helps a lot for us as well. So Braden Smith, what do we need to go and trade to acquire him in this trade? We have a lot of cap, that doesn't matter at all for us. Picks wise though, what do we trade? So we could trade like maybe a 5th round pick. Because he is, where was he drafted last season? I can't remember. 2nd round pick, so he is worth a 2nd round pick somewhat. So could we go and maybe make a trade? What do the Colts need necessarily? Could we go and trade possibly a running back? So let's put up Kelly actually. Would they want Robert Kelly? No, they don't. What about Perrine? They do want Perrine. Okay, that's interesting. So Samjay Perrine, he is great, but if we can pull off a trade for a great offensive lineman like that with quick development, I think it's worth it. So let's try this trade out. So they're on the same level, maybe add in a pick, and I think we might be able to pull this off. Because what was Perrine again? What was he drafted? So Perrine is a 4th round pick, and that way the Colts get a running back they'll actually want, and that can go and do good things for him. He does have quick development, so it does work out for them as well in that category. What else do we need to trade to pull this off? I think a pick should be able to pull this off. So he finally pulled off that trade. So he traded Perrine, a 4th round pick this year, and a backup left end for Braden Smith there, an offensive lineman that'll fit in nicely at left guard. So we finally have a good, young, developing offensive lineman there at left guard. We'll switch him over right now and see how he looks in this new look offensive line. Actually, you know what? I think he might be better off at center because he's a 74 overall, 22-year-old center. He's already one of the top centers in the league. He's about 25th ranked, and he's going to be even better once he gets his awareness upgraded as well. So Braden Smith, I think he looks great at center. He's not bad. He's going to be developing soon, so we'll see how he does in the later weeks at center. He's got quick development, so I think he could do well as our center this year. Plus, he's already better than James Stone as well, too, so that helps out a lot. So, potentially, we do have our franchise center right now with Braden Smith. We'll see how well he does. Hopefully, he does great and lives up to the expectations. Other than that, I don't think we do need to make any more trades. We did acquire a 1st round pick. We got our center. I think we're fine for the most part at our positions. Like, Luke is not bad. He's an alright offensive lineman. We've finally got Braden Smith at center. I mean, our team is looking not bad for what it is. Plus, we have no assets to trade too. So, we can't really make trades if you don't have assets to trade. But regardless, I think we should be fine. We'll go and sim this game against the Giants before I do anything at all. But we do have one injury, though. Let's see this. So, there is one injury that is... Nicholson is out 6 weeks, though, at free safety. No! Oh, we have to sign a free safety then. Damn it. So, we'll go and sign one in the free agency because we can't really trade for one because we have no assets to trade for one. So, is there anybody in here? There is one. Calvin Pryor III. Is he any good? 26 years old. I guess you're not going to find the best free safety in the free agency, but, I mean, it might have to do. Yeah, I got Wilcox regardless at second. And he's not that much better. He's worse. So, Calvin Pryor, just sign him as a center, as our free safety for now, just until Nicholson gets back, because I doubt we can find anybody better right now. So go slot him in and see how he looks there at free safety. Hopefully we can do well with him, but you never really know. Yeah, he looks alright, I guess. He's decent. We also put Scanrick there as well, too. I think we're fine just putting... Yeah, Scanrick will probably leave him out. I wonder if we could put, like, Moreau there. That wouldn't be bad as well. Let's see Scanrick's intangibles. He is much better at pretty much everything than Pryor. But then who do you put at backup corner, though? If you do that... Do you slot in Myrick, then? Or are you putting Pryor as our backup? We'll go and figure this out. Yeah, I'd feel better if Scanrick is at free safety rather than Pryor. So I think we're good with him starting at free safety for now. Then, yeah, we'll see if Scanrick does not, like, say if the backup corner role does not work out for Moreau, and then we'll just go and switch out some things. But I think we're fine for the most part right there at free safety. Our team looks not too bad. We do have Braden Smith now at center. Not too bad. I think we're fine for the most part. Let's go and sim this game against the Giants and see if we can go 3-3-1 on the season. Unfortunately, we lose this one in a heartbreaking fashion. 28-27. Oh, that stings so bad. We outplayed them too, it looks like. Eli Manning, 247, 4 touchdowns. Never mind, actually. He did well. Eli, hell of a game from him. 239 for Alex Smith, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. At least he had 1 more touchdown than picks this time. Rushing-wise, Geis, 82 on the ground, 1 touchdown, not bad from him. 46 from Barkley, so he held Barkley only to 46 yards rushing. That's pretty good at least. Receiving yards-wise, 65 from Jordan Reed, 49 yards for Evan Ingram and 2 touchdowns. 1 for Malcolm Mitchell, 1 for Crowder and 49 yards. Richardson, 47 yards, Odell, 37, Shepard, 27 and a touchdown, and Doxson, 26 and a touchdown. Then blocking-wise, who led up sacks? And Eric Flowers led up 2 sacks, and Moses led up 2 sacks. So no let up sacks for Braden Smith. I like that. So at least Smith is holding his own there at center, at least for the first game. 11 tackles for Ogletree. I don't care about the Giants. Let's see our tackles. 10 for Zach Brown and a sack. It's pretty good for him. 8 for Josh Norman. 6 for Dunbar. 6 for Kerrigan and 1.5 sacks. 6 for Scanrick at free safety. 4 for Pernell McPhee and half a sack. And that's about it for that. Kicking-wise, 2 for 2 for Justin Hopkins. 45 yards out was the longest. That's good for him. Punting-wise, Tressway, 3 punts for 144. Kick return-wise, 4 for 93 yards for Eli Rogers, and punt return-wise, 41 for Jamison Crowder. Okay, so next week we're facing off against the Falcons at home, and I just want to tell you my plan right now for what I want to do. So the Falcons I'll sim, Buccaneers I'll sim, Texans I'll sim, and then I'll play the Cowboys game on that Thanksgiving Thursday night. So that's the plan right now. So you sim the next 3 games, but we'll take a look at the Falcons and see how well their season's been doing before we do anything at all. So the Falcons, let's see them. So Matt Ryan and the Falcons, the previous game they played was the Giants, and they shut them out 31-0. And that's the team we just lost against, so that is not looking good for us at all. So right now, Matt Ryan, I don't know how many times he's won Offensive Player of the Week, but he's won it a considerable amount of times so far. So let's go see these awards. Let's see what he's done so far. I believe, yeah, won at week 1. Then he won it another week in week 7 when they played. So we did not get another player of the week besides Zach Brown in week 6. Now let's see what our stats are so far this season. So 15th in offensive yards, that's not bad. 8th in defensive yards. I don't know how this team is not that great though. We're 21st in points scored, that's why. So we're putting up yardage, but we're not scoring though, and points allowed 20th in the NFL. So our defense is not as good as I thought it was, as 20th in the NFL is not good enough. Darius Geis 9th overall in rushing yards in the NFL, 6th in carries, 8th for Jordan Reed in receiving yards, 72nd in receiving touchdowns. So we're not putting up points, so that's the most important thing, is we're not putting up points when we need to be. That's the big thing right now. But before we do anything, I want to go take a look at yearly awards and see who's up for MVP. So Tom Brady 7-1, he's up for MVP, number 1 right now. Zeke's up there in 2nd, Goff in 3rd. There's going to be no Redskins touching that even close. Coach of the Year, we're not going to be on there, but Sean McVay's number 1. MVP Tom Brady once again. Take a look at NFC Offensive Player of the Year. Zeke, number 1. David Johnson, 2nd. Anyone else on here? Dax in 10th, okay. And Eli Manning up there, actually, in 7th. Not bad for him. Defensive Player of the Year so far is Sean Lee. Anyone else on our team? There's no... Wait, there is. Zach Brown in 10th. That's cool. Zach's getting the recognition he deserves. Darius Geis, number 1 in Offensive Rookie of the Year, leading the way against Saquon Barkley somehow. So Barkley is trailing Darius Geis in Offensive Rookie of the Year so far. Not bad. Anyone else from our team? Doesn't look like it. Then Defensive Rookie of the Year, we have Roquan Smith from the Bears. And then we have Daron Payne there in 9th. Not bad. Then Best QB, Drew Brees by far. He's the best. Anyone else? Doesn't look like it. Best running back, Zeke right now. And Geis in 10th. Cool. Best receiver, Doug Baldwin there, number 1. And let's see if any of our receivers made it. Nope. Best offensive lineman, Zach Martin. A lot of Cowboys, a lot of Eagles. And Trent Williams somehow makes it in 10th. Okay. Even though he's left the most sacks in this team so far. What else? Yeah, best defensive lineman, Mike Daniels. And that's about it for us. No Redskins on that one. Best linebacker is got to be Kerrigan on here. Where is he? There he is. 9th for Kerrigan and 5th for Zach Brown. Cool. But Buchanan's number 1. Best DB, Ronald Darby there from the Eagles. No Redskins in that one. Best kicker, I doubt Dustin Hopkins is in this one. Yeah, he's not on that one. Best punter. Wait, there is no best punter. That kind of sucks. But I'll just quickly go through the AFC. Just so you can take a look at that. Defensive, Mosley. Suggs is up there for defensive. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson, 1-2. Fitzpatrick there, Edmonds for defensive rookie. Then best QB, Tom Brady so far. Then best running back, Leonard Fournette. Best wide receiver, D.D. Westbrook. That's pretty cool. And then Edelman's in 2nd. Best offensive lineman, David DeCastro. Then Joel Bitonio's on there. Cool. Then best D lineman, Khalil Mack by far. Then best linebacker is C.J. Mosley. And then Suggs and Perfect. Then best DB, Jalen Ramsey. Best kicker, Goskowski. And that's about it. Week 9 and another game, another loss. We lost against those Falcons. So our team is pretty much in the toilet right now. The Cowboys are 7-0-1. I guess we're only 3 games back of the Eagles, though. They're 5-3. That's not bad, I guess. But our team is slowly sinking down the toilet. And it's looking like we're not going to make the playoffs. I guess you could have said that a couple weeks ago. But for the most part, like, this team is not built yet for a Super Bowl. We got to wait a couple years before we do that. But we'll take a look at the Falcons game. We got destroyed in every facet of the game pretty much. As Matt Schaub came in through 11 yards. Matt Ryan 275 and a touchdown. Alex Smith 246, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Devontae Freeman there, 62 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. And then Tevin Coleman there, 32 on the ground and a touchdown. And Geis only 22 yards on 10 rushes. It's kind of sad. Receiving yards wise, Justin Hardy 155 and a touchdown. 94 for Paul. 61 for Mohamed Sanu, 47 for Jordan Reed and a touchdown. Robert Kelly, 48 and a touchdown, not bad. Crowder at 57, and that's about it. Blocking wise, 2 let-up sacks for Trent Williams once again. He's having a terrible season so far for sacks. He is not doing well at all. Defensively, 13 tackles for Zach Brown, 10 for Swearinger, 9 for Campbell on the Falcons. Let's see our tackles. 9 for Scanrick, 7 for Kerrigan. Who got sacks? No sacks in that game. And no picks. Our defense is sad right now. It is not good. 1 for 1 for Dustin Hopkins, 50 yards out. Punting wise, 3 punts for Tress Way. And nothing really kick return wise. So trades wise in the NFL, and it looks like there's been no trades at all besides our Braden Smith trade. That's very sad. I don't know why there should be more trades than that, but it looks to be just all re-signings, released players, and so on and so forth. Like, there's a lot of no-names getting released that aren't even that good, so we can't really pick them up. But looks to be no big names so far this season. There is Kenny Ladler, actually, but that was week 1 for us. What else? Yeah, there's nothing really at all. This season is not transaction. There's like barely any transactions at all this season. It's kind of sad. Nothing at all there. Re-signings. There's probably a lot of re-signings for sure. Monte Teo. Jay Ajayi got re-signed by the Eagles. Michael Pilardi, Chris Hogan got re-signed. Jared Cook got re-signed. Anyone else? Ronald Darby got re-signed. Best corner in the league. Ezekiel Ansah got re-signed by the Lions. Shane Ray got re-signed. We should probably make some re-signings. Martavis Bryant got re-signed by the Raiders. We should probably take a look at some re-signings, actually. Quan Alexander got re-signed by the Buccaneers. Actually, I want to get Quan. He's pretty good. Let's see. What do we have for negotiations? So we could re-sign Jamison Crowder right now. Might as well just do that. Get some type of excitement here. As, what does he want? 6.4 mil per season. 3.36 for that. So we'll probably give him a little bit more of a bonus. Might as well just hit 40 mil. Give him a $40 million contract. There you go. Offer him that, and hopefully he takes it. So he wants better salary. Okay, so at least we get feedback. But Pernell McPhee, I'll wait till the end of the season to re-sign him. Preston Smith, maybe re-sign him. Actually, no, we'll wait on Preston Smith as well, too. So we'll wait on a couple of those players. The rest we could probably just release at the end of the season. But right now we're facing off against the Bucks, 3-5 Bucks. We're 2-5-1. Pretty much the same record when you take a look at that. But we'll do some scouting, then we'll sim that game against the Bucks. I think we actually won a game in simulation. Holy. We actually won a game that we did not play. That is very surprising. So we actually won 29-26 against the Bucks. We actually pulled off the W in the end. Alex Smith, 247, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Jameis had a terrible game, 258, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not that good of passing. 43% percentage for completion. That's not good enough for him. Rushing wise, Darius Geis 79 on the ground and a touchdown on 21 carries. 45 for Charles Sims, 19 for Kelly. And receiving yards wise, Paul at 91. Let's see, ours. That is, 91 for Paul, 48 for Crowder, 36 for Robert Kelly, and 2 touchdowns for him. 26 for Doxson, 18 for Geis, and 13 for Reed, and a touchdown. Blocking wise, no sacks let up this week by the offensive line. The big boys actually did well. Defensively, 8 tackles for Calvin Pryor put at free safety there. 7 for McPhee, 6 for Brown, 5 for Swearinger, 5 for Dunbar, 5 for Kerrigan, and was there any sacks? No sacks up for the defense, and no. Oh, 1 pick for Zach Vigil though. That's not bad. Kicking wise, 0 kicks for Dustin Hopkins, so no misses for him this week. And kick return wise, nothing really that good. So we actually won a game this week against the Bucks. We're facing off against the Texans this week on the Sunday game. But first, we'll go take a look at some upgrades because I believe Geis needs to be upgraded. And it looks like he does. Yep, there he is. So Geis, what do we upgrade for him? We have elusive back, receiving back, power back. I think, yeah, we'll just fit our scheme. We'll do the elusive back point. And that does not upgrade much of anything. We upgrade overall wise, 79 now. But he's about the same players pretty much. And taking a look at his stats, they're actually pretty good looking for the most part. His speed's good. Pretty much everything's good all around. But anything else we need to take a look at? Defensively, who we need to look at? Yeah, I think we're fine for the most part. Allen does need an upgrade as well, too. So upgrade Jonathan Allen. We'll do run stopper. And now he's an 80 overall. That's pretty cool. So we have Allen at 80 overall now. Quick development. Faced off against the Texans this week, and they did lose their last game against the Broncos. They got destroyed, actually. They've lost the past 3 games against the Jaguars, Dolphins, and Broncos. They've had a bye week to go and reflect and see what went wrong the past 3 weeks. Texans, they've lost the last 3 games, 38-17 against the Broncos. They got destroyed. They got destroyed again by the Dolphins. They lost against the Jaguars 28-20. So they've lost the last 3, but they were on the bye week last week, so they had time to reflect and see when it went wrong the past 3 weeks. So hopefully the bye week does not help out, and we could destroy them just like the Broncos did and the Dolphins did before them. Before we sim, though, we do have one injury on this team, another one. Let's see, is anything big? Robert Kelly is out 7 weeks with a dislocated hip. That is not good for us. So Robert Kelly, he was more of our primary receiving back out of all the running backs. He had a lot of touchdowns, the receiving-wise. So who is going to get the big haul of receiving touchdowns this week? Hopefully Geis gets a couple, if we get anything at all. So running backs with Kelly out is pretty depleted, which is not good to see that. But at least Marshall has an upgrade. We'll upgrade his receiving back points. And that doesn't really do much of anything to him at all. So another week, another signing of a free agent due to injury. And I've found a free agent I've been looking at signing for a while. And his name is Jeremy Hill. His stats are pretty underrated for a free agent right now. And I think he can help us out this week with scoring touchdowns pretty much. So Jeremy Hill, why not? Welcome to this team. You need a job. I need you. Please step up big for us this week. And we take that W 28-14 against those Houston Texans on that Sunday game. We played very well, looks like, as Alex Smith, 139.5 passing rating, 200 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and a 0 in interceptions this week. Finally, a week without a pick for Alex Smith. And Deshaun Watson, not a good game at all, 135, a pick and a touchdown. And he had a 50% completion percentage, whereas Alex Smith, 80% completion. That is insane. He had a great week for us. Rushing wise, let's see how we did on the ground. Darius Geis, 59 yards rushing, 21 rushes on the day. Jeremy Hill, first game as a Redskin, he impressed, 41 yards on the ground on 9 carries for a 4.6 yards per carry average. And Dante Freeman there, 30 yards and a touchdown and a fumble for those Texans. Lamar Miller had 70 on the ground as well. Receiving yards wise, Paul Richardson had 56 and a touchdown. Reed had 43. Will Fuller had 38 and a touchdown. Doxson had 33. Who else had touchdowns? Vernon Davis, 22 and a touchdown. And Jamison Crowder there, 20 and a touchdown. Darius Geis had 20 as well. And that's pretty much about it. Blocking wise, 1 sack led up by Brandon Sheriff and 1 by Moses again. Defensively, we had 14 tackles from Zach Cunningham. And let's see our tackles, actually. We have 9 from Brown. We had 7 from McPhee, 6 from Scandrick, 6 from Pryor, 5 from Mason Foster. Who we had sacks from? No sacks this week. And picks-wise, 1 pick from Josh Norman. So Norman finally gets a pick here. Kicking-wise, no missed field goals for Hopkins this week. Punting-wise, 3 punts for Tress Way. And kick return-wise, 1 touchdown, 1 kick return touchdown there for Eli Rogers, the man we picked up as a backup for Paul Richardson when he was injured. So Eli is a great returner, though. He's pretty underrated, I guess, as he had 98 on that kick return for a touchdown, 44 for Jalen Myrick, and punt return-wise, 12 for Jamison Crowder. So after all that simming, we find ourselves still last in our division at 4-5-1. At least we tied against the Cowboys. We could be 4-6, but at least we're 4-5-1 on the season. Giants are 5-5, Eagles 7-3, 8-1-1 Cowboys, and that's the game we're gonna be playing this week is against the 8-1-1 Cowboys, which is not looking good for us. But we tied them last time, so we have a shot to go and beat them this time if Hopkins makes his field goals. So I think we have a good shot to go and win this game. Our team matches up well against theirs. Hopefully win this game. But anyway, that will be in the next episode. So anyway, make sure to like and subscribe for more Washington Redskins franchise mode. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.